Hi everyone, it's Heidi with Downtown NorCal, and today I'm taking you on a really fun experience at Boheme Hip Used Clothing in downtown Davis. I'm going to show you the consignment process and the shopping one. And right now, they're actually at full capacity, so people are waiting to get into the store. For me, I'm going to mask up and hand sanitize. But I'm actually standing right across from Yelena Ivashenko. She is the owner of Boheme. And I'm going to go through the trading process. This isn't your typical consignment store. It's not that model. She will actually pay you or trade you for store credit when you bring items. And I'm about to go through that process with Yelena. All right, Yelena, I brought you a couple of things that pandemic pounds have just taken out of my closet for good.
And you're not alone. There are a lot of people actually going through some sort of clearing out, and there's a moving out season too. So we conduct all of the trade-ins outside just to prevent a little crowd in the store, and plus it's just safer, I think, for everybody, for the customers and for my employees and for myself. So I set up this little area in the shade where I keep hand sanitizer handy, the gloves, of course, my calculator and things like that. So we just done a little bit of trade-ins. So I'm about to bag it up. So I usually normally put out the items right on the store, but right now during pandemic, I just don't want to take a chance. So I bag it up and actually keep it in my hot car for 2 days.
Wow.
Right after pandemic, I used to wash everything, like all of the clothes that people bring, and I just realized there's just no way I can't do that. And then I thought, oh, I'm just gonna use the solar in my car because it gets really hot, like over 100 degrees. And so I just keep it there for like 2 or 3 days, and then when I get it out, so it's sanitized with the heat. So that's
serendipitous for our Davis weather that we're normally complaining about this time of year.
I know, and it's like now that if I park in the sun, I actually don't complain because I know it's getting even hotter. So at the end, you always have a choice to choose either store credit or cash. The store credit, that's the amount you can spend here in the store. And let's assume you don't find anything within this time, you can always cash out your amount before the expiration. And during pandemic, I actually took out the expiration this 6 months that normally we do, just because people are still afraid to come out and do shopping. And then like some of the students are contacting me saying, hey, I'm out of town, my store credit expired. I said, don't worry about it, it's all extended. So at the spot, you can choose either a store credit to spend in the store or the cash amount, and you are free to go.
Well, I feel like going shopping today, so let's do that.
You'll see protective signs throughout, and lots of relaxed stay-at-home options. Hawaiian shirts are popular with the guys. Boheme brings in a number of new items also, with something for everyone. Great prices all around.
Yeah, I used to have a store called Fairly Used. We were sharing space with Teacher Children's Store in East Street Plaza. Unfortunately, it didn't work. The concept for some reason didn't work because the kids' items are not expensive, and to keep up with the rent, it was just not so I closed the store, but I still have a lot of items. It's been just sitting in my garage, basically. And then during pandemic, I realized that I lost almost all of my students because 80%, before pandemic, 80% of my customers were students. I thought, oh, I should probably bring some kids' items in order to bring some more locals and then just add a little bit more to the sales. And because of the open air initiative organized by City of Davis and Davis Downtown Business Association, a lot of businesses are trying to move on the streets and do some sales outside. So I installed the sunshades to make it more shady, so more pleasant to shop outside. And I brought some kids' items that's been otherwise just sitting in my garage.
I love those little leggings.
There are quite a few items I make myself too, like those tie-dye ones.
Aww.
I actually, during shelter in place, I call it the first 2 weeks, I literally just tie-dye everything. So I call it tie-dye, quarantine tie-dye madness. Everything that was like slightly discolorated or I felt like tie-dyeing. I was just tie-dyeing everything. I have a whole rack for adult clothing too.
Oh, let's go look at that. That'll be fun. And the kids' items, you're not receiving kids' items for trade,
We don't
to be
accept
clear.
them for trainings. It's just I'm selling what I had in the store. I mean, I have more than just that for sure.
And you do have a really nice selection, so that's good to know for families.
Here's Yelena's signature tie-dye madness.
Some stores are not allowing people to try on clothing, but you're an exception, Yelena. So how are you sanitizing between uses in the dressing room? And you're standing right in front of your dressing rooms.
Well, right at when they start opening it up, I thought if I'm not allowing customers to try some items on, there's no way I'm going to do sales, because some of the items that are coming and they're like not the right size, and then it's extremely important. That's the whole point of a used clothing store, to have ability for people to try things on. So I searched and searched, and I actually read somewhere when you mentioned something about steaming items, if it goes back on the floor. So what we usually do, I found this in the local Ace Hardware store. Hey.
Yes.
And it's a sanitizer and disinfectant for the fabric, and it has eucalyptus oil, so it smells really nice. After each use, when the customer is done with the dressing room, we literally spray everything, like the fabric, the curtains, the floor, the chairs, the mirrors, and then we also install plastic lining in between the dressing rooms.
Wow.
So, and then we kind of close it down for at least 5 to 10 minutes to let it settle, and then come out and wipe the rest of the residue. And it smells nice, and it also makes us and customers and us feel safer. But if the items, somebody's trying the items on, but they decided not to get it, that it didn't fit, we normally have a return rack. We don't put items in the return rack. We immediately take it in the back and steam each item with the heat before we put it out back on the floor, just to make sure that if there is a virus, then just kill it with the steam. And then also, like, if all of their hangers goes in a specific place, and we sanitize it too.
You've really put a lot of thought into this. I'm sure people will really appreciate that.
For the long term, I think it's not sustainable, because it's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it just makes me feel safer, and I hope the customer feels safe too.
How are your customers responding to you in general? Are they coming in?
I would say locals still more like afraid to come in. Like, I haven't seen some of our regular local customers, and as of course the students are all gone. I mean, for the most part. But I do see, like, a little bit, like, slowly people are trying to come out, and everybody needs some clothing at some point, especially in this heat.
You have so many nice relaxed styles and a lot of variation here, and of course originality, so I hope people will come out and check you out soon. It's really a lot of fun in here.
Thank you.
We're not quite yet ready for Halloween, but nonetheless, a lot of people are having fun sheltering in place by wearing costumes, and Yelena always carries some fun accessories. Yelena, tell us what you're doing with helping people sheltering in place with fun.
Well, I think in the first interview I mentioned something about the movement in Australia when people are dressing up, taking trash out, and I actually took a few videos of myself dressing up in some pajama costumes, which my kids were laughing at. Well, and there's some people are trying to have fun, so I have, like, we're completely shut down, so some people just wanted to run in tutus, so I was delivering the tutus to them. So we always have different colors of tutus, we always have wigs, like just different colors, different fun things.
We'll show that one again. Yeah.
Well, it's one of them. But
and these are all new items. These are not
we do carry
yeah.
a lot of new items too, so it's not just used, and that's my biggest dilemma right now. So are we going to have Halloween, or we're not going to have Halloween? Because some of the items needs to be ordered like right now, and I need to make a decision if I should invest money into some of the accessories, because we do buy like accessories like hair clips maybe, or different, I don't know, like little unicorn things.
Cute.
So just a different, like a nose mask, like all kinds of different things. We carry them, not just used, but also new. So I do make those orders like right at this moment, at the end of July, and then trying to see what's popular, what's going to be popular for Halloween. But as I said, we always carry this, but around Halloween specifically, we turn the store into Halloween headquarters, where we like take part of the store and decorate it and like put out about thousands of different costumes that have now been sitting in my garage.
That's me with my family for a 70s themed driveway dance. And here are the tutus Yelena mentioned.
So on top of everything else, there is a nationwide coins shortage because the government's not printing coins, and people are not spending with cash. Yet merchants like you and others around you still need coins in order to do cash transactions. So what are you doing that's unique, Yelena, to help your local businesses?
When I thought about it, I was like, oh my gosh, all these people might be having all these jars and sitting with coins, and they're not emptying it because nobody is going to the bank. So I reached out through this wonderful Davis community, Davis Parents Group. I said, if anybody has coins sitting in the jar, contact me and I will take it off your hands. If you could just like bring it in a bag or something. So, and I've been exchanging. So I've been a coin collector. So I have a box, about $400 worth of different types of coins, and I'm walking around different businesses, especially like maybe like know that they use a lot of coins. I went to this Saturday to the farmers market and just with my baggie, and I was like, do you guys need coins? And they were so happy, and it's just exchanging. But for the most part, so we can accept the coins and exchange it right here, and then pass it around to the businesses, kind of like mini bank.
Every fashion show ends with the bridal gown. But I'll be back soon. And I invite you to join me.